I felt really great the other day when a coworker of mine, who I've only been working with more recently, complimented me on my job, and I told him that I had just come in as part of the iReturn program and had been out for 22 years, and his jaw just about hit the floor. He said, "Well, I figured you'd been here forever. You were doing this all so well."
Northrop Grumman was a participant in the STEM Reentry Task Force, so we had heard about this through the Society of Women Engineers, and from that we created our iReturn program. Our program was a 12-week cohort that started in 2017. We initially extended offers for 15 participants in the cohort program. At the end of the program, we extended full-time offers to 12 different employees, 11 of whom accepted.
Managing the Pilot iReturn program was unlike any other program I've ever managed. It was a real chance to change people's lives and provide them an opportunity to return to work and to be successful.
I had been following iRelaunch and SWE for a good while, and I actually told my friends I need to figure out what I'm going to do when my sons, grew up, and had been following the sites and kind of gauging whether there might be a chance that as an engineer I could get back into the workforce, because I wasn't sure anybody would want me after 22 years. I saw opportunities that looked interesting, but they were never in this area, or they were in finance or some other area. A month before my youngest left for college, there it was, Northrop Grumman, Engineering, Chicagoland, easy drive from my home. I knew I had to apply, and the rest is history.
Well, I've been a recruiter for about coming up on 23 years now, and I have to say by far iReturn was probably the best experience I ever had as a recruiter. Just the excitement level and how just excited they were to get these phone calls that they're going to be a part of the program.
So I submitted my application on a Friday afternoon at about 4:30, and at 5 to 5 I got a phone call from the recruiter and nervously picked up the phone, and he said, "Oh, I just wanted to let you know I got your application. I'll be giving you a call on Monday so we can talk further." Well, I was leaving town the next day to an area that would have no cell phone coverage. I said, "Can we talk now?" He said, "Sure, we'll talk now." And we talked, and after several minutes, he said, "You know what, will you be back by August 1st? I said, "Yes, I will." And he said, "Well, we'd like you to come in for an interview." And I actually had to run out that night to buy myself a suit before I left town so that I would be ready for the interview.
In the early days when Karen and Jen and I were talking about the STEM Reentry Task Force and what it might look like, we were recognizing that there were all sorts of great initiatives out there to increase the number of females who are in the pipeline for technical careers. A lot of them were focusing on young girls, girls who code, young women, keeping women in their technical majors as they go through college, but we didn't see anything that was focused on those women who were already credentialed, who already had the work experience, and had left their technical careers for one reason or another.
The STEM Reentry Task Force actually has 2 cohort levels. There is the cohort of program managers that Carol and I work with monthly to establish their program, expand it, make it successful, all of that. And then there's the cohort of interns that are working at each of these organizations.
The task force meetings that were held once a month helped us to learn the key steps to building a program, and it just felt good to be amongst a collaborative group of peer companies.
And the fact that they had that peer network, as well as the guidance from iRelaunch and Jen Scott here at SWE, I think was really something they found value in. And the fact that they could learn from each other. How do you have some of these conversations with potential hiring managers? Or how did you get your senior leadership to really buy into the idea? And for them to be able to sort of not be in it alone and be working through these challenges with others from other organizations, I think really was powerful and far and away led to the success of the program.
Before my career break, I worked for Motorola, and I was at first a mechanical engineer and then moved into reliability engineering. My career break was 19 years. I was hired in as a process engineering intern, and then I was hired directly from that internship into the same position.
I love that it's a two-way street, so it's not just an advantage for the employer, it's an advantage for the candidate as well to try out the organization in kind of a lower pressure way And then same for the employer, to be able to see what that individual is capable of, to see what their skills are. So I liked that it was that win-win for both parties.
It was very intimidating coming back just because I had been out for so long and I was afraid that my skills would be stale. Even though I had tried to do some updating and tried to stay connected, I was worried especially about the tech tools. And there are a lot of tech tools that are different, but the overall feeling is the same, right? The cadence, the types of problems we work on are the same. The things that crop up are the same types of problems. So in a way, things felt very familiar, which was comforting.
I had the opportunity to be out at Northrop Grumman back in December for the graduation ceremony they had for their first cohort. And to hear the folks that have been in that program talk about not only the work they had been able to do while they were there as part of the program, but to hear what it meant to them. I heard things like prayers answered, life-changing. And to know that you're part of an organization that is helping your target audience that much is just so gratifying.
I love the work that we're doing. We're making a real impact, not only with individuals who are able to return to work in these engineering and technology fields, but also within the system with the different company partners that we have.
Because businesses need to see that there's an untapped workforce out there with a great deal of potential. So I really hope, for the sake of my daughter-in-law someday and the next generation, that they know that they can take some time out of the workplace to take care of parents or children or whatever it is, and know that they can safely feel that they can get back into the workforce when that time comes.
And none of this would have happened without the buy-in and championship and involvement of the Society of Women Engineers and Karen and Jen.
On behalf of Northrop Grumman, I want to thank the Society of Women Engineers for helping us to join this wonderful initiative and help us to launch the iReturn program.
Thanks, Karen and Jen, and thanks, Society of Women Engineers.
Thank you, Society of Women Engineers and Northrop Grumman, for the opportunity.
Thank you, SWE and Northrop Grumman, for taking a chance on me and the rest of the iReturners.